Hi everyone, my name's Ruby. I'm here again to talk about perimenopause today. So, just about what it is. So, just to start off, I don't know if any of you ever had your mum or your auntie or your massi or your daddy or nanny, someone to sit you down and say, do you know what? One day your hormones are going to go completely crazy, um, and you're going to forget everything from time to time. You're going to walk into one room and you will forget. Nope, no, mine didn't either. So we're in the same boat here, girls. So just a little bit, just to say, perimenopause is basically the transition period before the menopause. So you might still have your periods. A lot of women do during their perimenopause, and it can last from anywhere from several months to several years. So I've read and I've been told by my own consultant that the typical age for menopause, when your periods completely stop, is about 51. So your perimenopause, the time leading up to this, can be around the age of like 38, even earlier than that. So you can imagine in our cultures, if someone's not married by the time they're 30, they're gonna be, you can imagine your perimenopause is on the way as well. But you don't realize that, you don't know that. But anyway, I digress. So perimenopause is the transition before the menopause. So basically, what happens is that two of the main female hormones, which are progesterone and estrogen. I was hoping I wouldn't say that wrong. Estrogen and progesterone. Yeah, they're the two main hormones, female hormones. They start to decrease. And because they start to decrease, it causes loads of symptoms in your body. So, from things like forgetfulness, which I've said so many times because it happens to me all the time. So annoying. Anyway, irregular periods. So, you could start, have known. Sorry. Might have none at all, very scanty, stop starty, too long, too heavy, too short. For me personally, last month I had two. Great, such fun, she says. Anyway, and I will list some of the symptoms here for everyone to have a look at as well, because there's so many, and I can talk about the symptoms to you all day. So the perimenopause, transition before your menopause, decrease of estrogen and progesterone, which causes loads of symptoms that you go through. And I've just mentioned some of them, and I will put some more down as well so you can have a look. Another one of them is weight gain, which I'm really worried about because I've actually lost a lot of weight in the past. So I do try and get to the gym and watch what I eat. And that's another thing. Nobody said, Rubes, when you get to this age, you're gonna first of all you're gonna start forgetting things, and you're gonna be in pain a lot. Your body will be achy for no reason. But I do try and get to the gym and stay fit and healthy, you know. And you do need to keep an eye on what you eat, 100%, definitely. But thinning of hair, dry skin is another thing which I've suffered from. But I do try and try and mask. Again with our culture as well. It's trying to find the time in between everything that you do in the day. You've got work if you're working, you've got your kids if you live with your in-laws, you've got your in-laws to look at, extended family if you live in a joint family, cooking, cleaning, religious studies if you have them, you've got tutors if you have them, extracurricular. So you're trying to fit everything in, and then you're trying to look after yourself as well. So um, there is quite a lot. So when your hormones are being dramatic, it's probably something to do with your hormones. So, I like it going back to our culture as well. The denial of women in their 40s. I mean, I can remember my mum being around 40. I was probably in my late teens, early 20s by then. But I remember her being really tired all the time, and I remember her saying, "Oh, my baggy, my baggy." Like if I sit down, I've sat down, I can't get up now. But really, now thinking back then, because I do it, it was because she just couldn't get up. She was tired. Her joints were aching because she was going through perimenopause. And again, going back to when I was younger, I remember her going to the hospital, taking me as a translator, obviously, to have an ablation done. Now, I didn't realize it was an ablation at the time, but now I know what it was. So she didn't even tell me about fibroids. So you can get all sorts heavy periods can be due to a lot of fibroids or afibroids. So if you are worried, guys, then please get yourself down to the doctors to get yourself checked out. I'm not a medical professional. I don't confess to be. So if you are worried, please go to see a medical professional. But most of us British born women who were born here in this country or have been here are now, from the 70s and 80s, are now in their 40s and 50s, are now going through all this. So if you've got any questions, please DM me any home remedies, anything that you've gone through. This is a safe space for everyone to jump on, chat, talk, message me, DM me on any platform you see this video on. I was just going to say anything else. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else as well. Oh yeah, there are lots of apps which I found. There's quite a few apps as well. If you just go into your Play Store or Android or whatever you use, you may be able to find some apps where you can store your symptoms, especially when you're running around like a headless chicken. And if you remember, if you remember to do it, but yeah, so please look after you guys. And if anybody says, your mood swings are valid, they're valid, so thank you for joining me. I hope that's given you a little bit of an explanation of what perimenopause is. Please watch out for my next video. Apologies for any mistakes. Peace and love to you all.